Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today we have some interesting content. Hashtag have you not heard? So anyway, if you've been following this series, you know that this 1282 here with no stickers that I bought late summer had a very smoky 12 horse in it, and I didn't trust it to be a good working machine for me to blow snow with, so I found this motor. It's a 16 horse from a... Why am I distracted by water dripping? I don't know. I got it from a wheel horse, C160 wheel horse. I seen that it ran really nicely, so I decided to pull it out and throw it in the Cub. So to do that, we had to do narrow base conversion, on which I left the gears and also removed the governor gears. So, well, finally I got the shop clean. I mean, the floor's a mess, but most of that snow melt from the diesel being in here parked in case of snow, and also because it kind of doesn't like to start when it's cold. I had the charger going over here, radiator here, propane there. I bumped and it died, so I don't have any heat at the moment, but it's raining outside, which sucks because I love to go snowmobiling, even if there's almost not enough snow. But maybe this will give us ice and help preserve our snow below. So anyhow, let's get a shot. Let's get a shot of what's going on here. So, pieces. I don't know if we would call this an H-beam rod or an I-beam rod. I feel like it's an I-beam rod. But there's cross section of her. There's that part of it. And now this is supposed to be an Alcoa rod. And if this is, in fact, an Alcoa rod, I don't believe there's any way to tell that has a T in it. I don't believe there's any way to tell that what brand it is. The crack right there by the oil hole. I see now that this bolt is loose. I wonder how that happened. That was likely the side that... Oh, that was likely the side that was last to go. And it might have knocked it loose. Okay. Here's another chunk on the side. Now here's the other rod bolt. Still mostly intact. It did get hit on the side here though. Oh, that's gotta be piston skirt. So next step we need to go. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, if you've been following this series, you also know that I filled this with hydraulic oil. Just because I wanted to hear it run and tune it, and just because I didn't have any other oil. And apparently I'm also stupid. Or I had to know. Well, now I know. I'll never do that again. Obviously. So what we have to do now is get the piston out. Probably can't see it, it's kind of dark, but I'm gonna take a sneak peek in here. I see Part of my rod. I see piston skirt damage. I believe that's it though. See if I can rotate the crank. That's actually it. There's a chunk of skirt missing, but the rest of this is just mint. So, I was going to look at the oil feed hole. I don't see anything unusual. Probably set this shit aside on a towel and see, take a look over it again and see if there's anything suspicious. I thought maybe a piece of foreign material got in and plugged the oiler hole, but now that it's cracked down the middle of the oiler hole, there's no possible way for me to know if there was a piece of sealant or something in there blocking the oil access, or a piece of weld from me welding up the corners here, which by the way look pretty good. I mean, the main clamping forces on the four corners, and if you see, there's a thin layer gasket all the way around up until where the holes are, where it's been pushed away. So I don't really think it would have been gasket maker. I mean, I have used more than enough, but not a completely ridiculous amount, nor any place I can see it drip off. And I do believe this was allowed to pretty good scrape. And I hope they can use this crank. I took one down to Joe's and he said that the crank was too worn out. It was worn down 6,000s and he wouldn't have enough room to go 10 under. So, and he didn't believe I could get a 16 horse rod. He didn't think there was a 16 horse rod available in 10 under. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he works with some pulling guys on these motors, and the pulling guys might not be comfortable with going 10 under, but I did look it up. There are 20 under rods available. Now, like I've said before, and I'll remind you guys again, that this rod is supposed to be an Alcoa forging, identical in size and mass, size and weight, to the 10, 12, and 14 horse rods. So now I'm really confused. The fact is, the 10 to 16 horse rod is going to fit any of these engines. So the 10 horse rod will fit in a 12, 14, 16. A 16 will fit in a 10, 12, and a 14. So, sure, you can go and sell a rod, just a generic rod, Stens or rotary. I don't know if rotary Stens for sure. I'm pretty sure it does. You could sell a Stens 10 horse rod to go on a 16. So now if you see a listing that's labeled as a 10, 12, 14, and 16 horse, you automatically know that that's not necessarily a 16 horse rod, or necessarily a 10, 12, and 14 horse rod. So now I gotta decide whether I'm gonna buy a cheap rod or get my ass handed to me by Kohler and go with the whole EM 16 horse rod. What I'll probably do is get the part number, then just plug it into eBay and see what they got for sale under that part number, and then I don't know, just go from there. So I don't have my camera stand, so I can't really be interesting, or can't watch me, so I mean, I don't care if you watch me, it's just that you need to be able to see what's going on. So to pull this motor out was literally a 5-minute procedure. Got the ratchet strap hooked up to the leftover piece of hardware in the ceiling. So I cranked it up, swung her out and around, lifted her up on my trash can with the board on top, and then I forgot that this was out there. Got my table because the other engine stands, there's Hun on the front one, and then the little 3-cylinder 310/75 under the cover there. So anywho, my Mickey Mouse light is dying. So what I'll do, get to work, I guess, and disassemble this. Maybe by the time that the crank is in and the rod is in. Oh, that's right. Now I'm gonna need a piston too, unless I want to just run it with a chunk of skirt missing. Trust me, I would certainly do something like this. I'm sure it won't hurt it. I mean, I could always pull it out and then bevel off the edges of the sleeve, bevel off the edges of the brake, so they don't dig into the block for any reason. Which I'm sure they would, and why would they? But I could do that. I'm sure it would be fine. P.S. Pistons are only $20, so yeah. What's $20 today nowadays? Not jack, really. So yeah, you see we got her cleaned up pretty good in here. And my word, is there more room in here? There sure is. Unbelievable. I didn't even bring my tractor in here. So, I'm going to get to work. And until later, we will see you guys. And hopefully we'll be installing some fresh, shiny new parts. And maybe I would still love to paint this engine black. I really, really would. You probably can't see, but I rerouted the exhaust and made it come out the side where the diesels do. This side, yeah, I'm gonna set it there. That's what I did. Very shitty job. I did my very best though to get it about where the diesel would be, because if I do ever get the 310/75 done and put in here, but I would, I'm getting confused, but if I do get the 310/75 rebuilt, ready to put in here, I would like the exhaust to be in approximately the factory location. What I'm going to do is make a slightly smaller hole for my 16 horse exhaust, and then work from there. You know, if I find a D600 Kubota or something to put in here, then I might be able to kind of match up my hole on the side panel for that. So yeah, that's about the story of that. So probably what I'm going to do is, it's way cheaper for me to rebuild the 16 horse. And it's also nice to have a tractor that starts easily. Starting a glow plug, having all diesel tractors is not really a good thing to have in the wintertime if you're dealing with the amount of snow that we have to deal with up here. I mean, I'm in the Finger Lakes. We get snow, and it's important to have a good running snow moving tractor available at all times. I mean, the diesel has a blade, and the diesel will start. I'll be honest, in my experience, I'm only 26 years. We tend to get more snow when it's in just below freezing. Upper 20s, 30s is where we get the major snow. So the diesel will start then. It'll be easy to plow. Or I'll just bring it in here, but it'll be really nice to have this little 16 horse. On a side note, the 16 horse single cylinder also leaves a lot more room in this tractor for doing hydraulic upgrades. So in the long scheme of things, it's a very low percentage of a chance that this will ever be a diesel, because I have a long way to go yet. I really want hydraulic lift and power steering on this. Power steering is it's a big project to do with a single cylinder up front, but still it's a lot easier to do it now than it would be to do it after a diesel. Even though, if you can follow this long ass explanation, it's easier to do now with a 16 horse single in it than it would be to do when I need it with a 3-cylinder. Because I don't really want to be steering. I have a 2-cylinder without power steering, and that's heavy enough for me to steer. Even with the 4-turn column, it's just acceptable. It's not like driving a farm OM. Nobody, believe me, nobody wants to drive a farm OM without power steering. Nobody. They are a beast. The little 2-cylinder is a lot easier than that. But if you get from the 129 diesel and you jump on this 1282, the thing steers a lot easier. So I'm not going to have a Cub with manual steering and a diesel if I can help it. So there's your long ass winded ass conversation for what's going on. Now, subscribe, thumbs up if you like, and we will see you later. Go away, camera.